What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Looking at Project Gewch again. Yesterday we got the head bolted down, the cams bolted in, the timing system on. So now I'm going to be cleaning the surface over here and also on the bottom to get the timing cover and the oil pan back on. So I've got the cover over here. I'm cleaning it up really good. Over here I'm cleaning this up really good. Going to put some sealant along each side of this and then start bolting this timing cover back down, torquing it to spec, and then next up is the oil pan. So of course I'm going to update you as I go. That's just what I'm working on right now, so I'll see you in just a minute. Whew, it's getting cold again. All right, so this is where I'm at right now. I've got the timing cover on, torqued down. I've got the oil pan on. I've got a little bit of gasket sealer on there. I'm letting it sit for probably about an hour, and then I'm just going to torque it on down. Right now it's just kind of finger tight. It's a little bit smushed out, as you can see there, and then as soon as it sets up, I'm going to go ahead and tighten it the rest of the way down. Valve cover is on, and while I've got the thermostat housing and all this stuff off, I'm probably going to go ahead and start putting the hot side of the turbo and the manifold and everything back here on, because I've got plenty of room to get back there and work on it. And then once that's on, just go ahead and hook up the drain and the feed line to it, and it's good to go. Then probably just start working my way around to the front, do the thermostat housing, get the coils flopped over, bolted down on top, and then start running the lines here. The intake manifold, throttle body, and then we can move on intercooler. It should go pretty quickly now. I also have to put on all the accessories and this motor mount over here, but that shouldn't take too long to do. Should be pretty easy and straightforward. I said that yesterday and stripped out 4 bolts out of the head, so I probably shouldn't say it again today. I'll take a chance, it's whatever, but that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now, making progress, slow and steady. So I'm gonna keep hammering at this. Hopefully I can get it a lot closer. I'd like to crank it in the next day or two, hopefully, depending on how much I can get done. Of course, Christmas is Friday, so Christmas Eve and Christmas, I probably won't be doing anything at all to the car. I'll be spending time with family, all that kind of stuff. But for now, I want to see what I can get done while I'm here, so I'm going to keep moving forward and see what all I can get done. So I'll check back with you in just a minute. Whew, all right, fast forward a few hours. This is where I'm at now. Let me take a step back so you can see this. Boom, just like that. Plenty of progress was made. We got the turbo and manifold back here on, thermostat housing over here, intake manifold, we've got the front clip put back on here, the support and the intercooler is bolted on. All the accessories are on, the belt is on, fuel system's hooked back up, pretty much almost ready to go. And if you notice something, let me show you real quick. I've put the stock turbo back on this car. The big turbo and the manifold is over here. So the reason I'm doing that, the product that I'll be testing is a new big wheel stock turbo for the Dodge Caliber. This is probably one of the largest ones released. And so I've already got it at my house. I don't have it here with me. I'm gonna do a full video review of that turbo, of putting it on, swapping it out with just a stock turbo. It's pretty simple, straightforward. You don't have to take the manifold or anything like that off. So it's pretty easy to swap over to this turbo. New billet wheels, all that kind of stuff. You can get the specs from the website, but I'll introduce the turbo and all that later. We'll be doing a dyno of the stock turbo again, turned up, versus the big wheel stalker. I'm gonna go to the dyno, dyno the stock turbo, maxed out, take it all the way up just like I did before, and then swap over to the big wheel stalker, do a little retuning here and there, and dyno again and see what the difference is between a stock turbo and a pretty large big wheel stock turbo. So that should be a lot of fun. And I might keep the big wheel stalker or the stock turbo set up on the car for a little while. I don't know, that's up in the air for now, but it's going on right now, and that's gonna be the setup that we're running for the next few weeks, possibly months. We'll see what happens. I'm not selling the turbo kit that I've got. I might make a few changes here and there, but that's where I'm at right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the core support put on up here, drop the radiator in, get the coolant lines hooked up, the rest of the intercooler piping hooked up. Really, there's not a whole lot of stuff left to do on the car. After everything is thrown on here, I can start filling it up with fluids, checking for any simple leaks real quick, drop in a new set of plugs, do a couple other things, do a couple pre-flight checks, and then this thing should be ready to crank pretty soon. I don't know if I'm gonna crank it tonight, but I'd like to, so I'm gonna see what happens by the end of the night. So I'll update you again here in just a few minutes. Great news. The car is together. Look at this. Everything is on, everything is tight, everything is torqued. We have coolant in the system, we have oil in the system. I think I'm actually gonna try and crank this thing. Maybe right now. Let's turn the power on real quick. I'm gonna prime the fuel pump a few times. Then I'm gonna hold the gas and the clutch all the way to the floor at the same time. That'll let the system, when we turn it over, that'll let it prime the oil all through the motor without cranking it. Well, it should have. Uh-oh. I've done something wrong. Give me a minute. Whew. Came up front to check a few things. I'm kind of glad it didn't crank. Look at this. This little 90-degree fitting here on my fuel return. Look at that. I'm gonna pull that off and replace it with a different one, but I also have to check and see all the other lines should be fine. Yeah, it's just this 90 right here. For some reason, it's decided to poop out. So I'll change that one. I'm gonna chase down the reason why it's not turning over, and I'll be right back. All right, so I went through and checked all my relays, all my fuses, everything in there was good. I got back under the hood, all the fuel had dried up. I went ahead and replaced that one AN fitting on the, it was actually the fuel feed line, so I replaced it. And looking around the starter, the little tiny, I don't know if it's a ground wire or something, had came loose, but hopefully that was the issue. So, I'm gonna climb back in here and see if we can turn the car over now and build a little oil pressure. I need to go ahead and get some fuel back in the rail too, so. All right, I'm gonna turn it over. All right, now I'm gonna see if we can actually crank this car. that is awesome. Got the car cranked. I think I'm gonna wait a few days. It's getting pretty late tonight. It's been raining. I don't want to test drive it tonight. I'm gonna wait a few days and test drive it a little bit later. Make sure everything's working right, burp the coolant system, all that kind of stuff. But we do know it does crank now. Everything is back together, runs fine. Idles a lot better than it used to, which is great. So that's gonna do it for this video. And then you guys know a couple of the upcoming videos. It's gonna be getting Gewch back on the road. And then another couple videos, it's gonna be, you know, testing the new turbo, giving a shout out to them and a review and all that kind of stuff, and a dyno of a big wheel stalker turbo. So that's what's coming up, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, bye.